Planet Magazine.
Also known as Wednesday 13.
Welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
Welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
This is all comfortable, yo. Welcome to Brutal Planet Magazine.
You're listening to Brutal Planet.
Hey, what's up, everybody? CJ Pierce here from Drana Pool, and you're listening to Brutal Planet Media right here. Get yourself.
Hey, I'm Steve from Within the Ruins, and this is Brutal Planet.
Greetings, Brutal Planet. We're back with the boys from October Noir. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Well, you know how I'm doing already.
Fantastic. Yeah. No, hey, I was gonna say I saw because I'm on the admin of the website, and so I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming through, a lot of action.
Yeah. It's been fun. I have to go in there and
A lot in the past 24 hours.
yeah, we had that the base auction or whatever that abruptly ended because somebody just went ahead and bought it outright.
Oh wow! So what's that all about? I saw that. So that has to do with the Dean thing, right?
Yeah, well, it was like my original base I built and did and do all that stuff, and because of all the Dean stuff coming, I was like, all right, well, I don't need this anymore because I'm not a collector. Like I don't care about buying all these different things. So I was like, well, I'm going to get rid of these two, and then we'll have the Deans to replace them. We're good, and that's that. So basically, I put that one up for auction.
Liquidating inventory.
Yeah. Just make it room.
How did the Dean thing come about, man? That's pretty cool. You guys are basically a official repping Dean now.
Yeah.
Guitars.
Well, when I was out in LA, like with you, we met up with Chris Cannella, who's like the main Dean guy, I guess.
At NAMM?
Yeah, at NAMM. And Raquel was like, hey, let's talk to him, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, let's go. So we ended up hanging out with him. I think it was like for 3 nights in a row or something. But he came out drinking with us. And he was like, yeah, let me get you drinks. So I was like, all right. So he basically said, he was like, Tom, you seem like a really genuine fucking guy. And I love genuine people. It's like, so I'm willing to do this for you, man. So yeah, it was just very simple.
That's badass.
But yeah,
I mean, as a like diehard Dimebag Daryl fan, like that's a huge.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we just got the guitar that went to Trace hands, and man, that thing is it's incredible. I think it was tech from Kerry King's like guitar tech guy. So just the action and the way the thing plays, it's like butter.
It's cool too that on a bass, it's not like I didn't even know they did like the bass. I mean, it would make sense. Obviously, they make guitars, but
yeah, it was funny because the custom bass I wanted, I didn't think I was gonna be able to get it. It's like, oh, it's just we'll start with the bodies we have first, and we didn't go from there. I was like, well, damn, I love this body, but it's not a bass body; it's a guitar body. So I was like, man, if I could have this body, it'd be perfect. So he's like, yeah, we can do that. So I was like, all right, I'm happy.
Dope.
Yeah.
So they built it custom.
Yeah. Well,
back in way.
Yeah, it'll take about a year or so. One of the things, they don't put Sustainiacs or sustainers in basses at all on a production line. So it's something you never really see, which is never really a point for it on a natural bass. But so that they're adding that in for me, and then so I don't have to do it, which is great. But then I was like, I want a whammy bar on a bass, and I want to see what I can do and generate and fuck around with it alongside of the sustainer, so couple it together. So they're putting that system in there from Kaler, I believe.
Dope. So
yeah, it's going to be an interesting mix of sound.
There's a lot of killer bands. There's a couple of bands I dig that are like two-piece, like bass, sort of like Royal Blood or Death from Above, 1979.
So. Tyler, have you heard of them? He'd know more for it than I would.
I haven't.
Yeah, because I don't ever get to listen.
They're kind of like they're not really like I wouldn't expect you to, because it's more like straight up like indie rock type shit. But they're doing a lot of cool, interesting stuff with bass, because it's there's no guitar. So
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. More power to them then.
Yeah. Did you ever hear
It's
of?
dope drummers too.
Did you ever hear of Delta Doom? That was a band from
I haven't.
way back when they toured with Crowbar a lot. It was the lead singer was Kyle Turley. He was actually an NFL player, and from New Orleans, and he's got his own band called Delta Doom. It's a 2-piece. It's some doomy, swampy shit. It's awesome.
Swamp.
I love that stuff.
Swampy.
Swampy, yeah. I'm a big Acid Bath fan.
Oh, I love Acid Bath.
Oh, yeah.
I've hung around with Dax like 2 or 3 times, man. He's like the
Really?
softest speaking guy in the world, and then you get him on a stage and it's just so it's very interesting. But he's one of the most brilliant singers.
Yeah. Acid Bath's lyrics too, like the lyrics on some of their shit, just
it's completely out of this. Yeah. You had to have been on acid to write some of this shit.
Also, I grew up in Salt Lake, which is very like religious, kind of like society, and so the whole pagan terrorism tactics thing just really rung with me,
Yeah. Yeah, that man. Yeah, I love that band. I've been listening to them, I think, since the release of the Kite String Pops. We found them out because we're kind of local or closer to local to them. So, for that to kind of make it to your listening ears was a lot easier.
Utah's always had a big kind of underground metal scene. So like it was like stuff like that wound up in my hands. A good friend of mine who I played in a band with showed me that.
Yeah. I wish they would have, stuck together, because I tell you, I really like the Agents of Oblivion album that he did right after leaving Acid Bath. And then he started doing all of his solo stuff, which there's some good stuff on that, but it's so different from what Acid Bath was, or even Agents was for that matter.
Yeah, the Agent stuff at least has that kind of darkness about it.
There's a lot of blues on it. And then a lot of almost like a shoegaze thing going on in some songs,
Yeah. There's a song called Hangman's Daughter, I think.
Oh, yeah. I love that song. Yeah. Love that song. That Ash of the Mind is another one of my favorites.
So what are you guys up to right now? I know you guys have like a lot of stuff on the burner right now.
Yeah. Oh, God.
We don't know what we're up to, man. We got so much stuff going on.
Well, there's more in the pipeline too. So right now we're trying to prepare for Dark Force Fest in New Jersey in 2 more weeks. And in the meantime, we've been working the website, and of course, thanks to Almighty Dustin here.
I built the website. I built OctoberNoir.com. Thank you very much.
And he emptied out our pockets.
I've been doing for a long time. What's that?
Yeah, and you emptied out our pockets. So we're broke. Don't ask us for money anymore.
Yeah, pretty good.
But yeah.
No, but it was a good case.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I'm happy with it.
It was a good case study for me, because I had to build it thinking like I've done this like kind of shit professionally, but I do it for like small businesses and stuff. So I had to think of it from a band perspective. Like if I was in a band, what would I need out of a website?
Yeah, and I think it's all there. A few things left to button up, but I mean, it's not much.
Yeah. The other thing that's cool about the setup that I did for you guys is it kind of gives you the ability to go in and tweak stuff on your own, and then you guys have taken the initiative to go in there and like set stuff up. I don't know if you saw I fixed the
I saw that, on the Bandstown link or whatever
page, but I had the hardest time, man. I was that bottom link that goes to like request this artist or whatever. I'm still messing with that. Like I could not find there's some kind of conflict happening with that piece that I cannot tweak yet. So anyway, I'll eventually crack it. But
I don't know why it just doesn't. I mean, you saw it in the preview section though, where it works, and then it fucking all spins out of control.
That's the nature of like these kind of things. That's why I get paid the big bucks, like fish through all this crap and figure all that shit out. So
yeah, well, I remember growing up, HTML hard code everything, and it was done.
That was a joke too. I don't get paid the big wow.
Yeah, it's very simple back
Yeah.
then. So
Yeah, oh yeah. I used to do like the Dreamweaver stuff, but now, I mean, nowadays it's like always a situation where if I build someone a website, I'm handing it off to them, and it's unlike like your situation's unique. Like we're kind of bros, so I'm like helping you out a little bit, like with stuff where most people I'd be like, all right, you're on your own now, and the rest is like hourly.
Yeah. Good luck. Here's the wilderness. Yeah.
Also clearly you were able, but that's the cool thing about like with WordPress is it's like people can jump in after I hand it off to them and easily like post or like change an image or something. You know, it makes it more like user friendly.
It relies heavily on plugins,
site.
but regardless of all that, I mean, yeah, we've got it together. I think we've pretty much got the majority of the bugs ironed out. I found the issue with the payment.
The payment, yeah.
So what it is there's a 7 to 14 day window of attainment.
Okay.
On the first payment. So once that's done and it clears, then everything else flows immediately.
Okay, that makes sense. Like I was saying, that's another thing is like payment technology has taken off because I used to have to like hand code and like wire these payment gateways up. Now everything's plugin based, so I can plug a plugin in and turn on Stripe or Square, or whatever, you know, because of the proliferation.
Yeah.
Of all this technology, there's a lot of fraud. So, you know, the banks are like really careful about letting stuff, you know, verifying and all that kind of stuff, which makes sense, you know.
Yeah, and I think I saw like in the little column where it was like, okay, it was fine for any kind of theft or fraud activity. So that's been cleared. It's literally just a waiting period. So
yeah, they do that. Like I've worked in, not to go too far down this hole because it's boring shit, but I've worked in like digital advertising and marketing for a long time, and I used to work for this advertising company, and there was just like fraud all the time. Like people would to give you like would copy another business's website and like run ads on it and send traffic to it and make like this is how smart these fuckers were. They would take a website URL, for example, that had like a D in it, and they'd buy the same domain with a CL, so it looks kind of like a D if you don't look close enough, you know.
Oh yeah, man.
Copy the website and make it.
Then go grab all the graphics and put those in the order.
Yeah. And we send them a check. Like when we would discover it, we'd be like, okay, they'd be like, deal with. So it's like, it's so easy to, and it's only gotten worse, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's definitely more sophisticated now. And then AI technology, who fucking knows? So,
yeah. So good to protect your neck from the fucking.
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
The hackers and stuff. So what's going on with you guys and Mike Hideous? You guys have a new track coming out. Is that when's that due?
Right now, so we've sent it to some pretty hefty industry guys. We've got Kafir. I forgot what his company name is. Forgive me, but he's doing the mixing on it right now, so we should be hearing from him soon. And then from there, it goes to Moore Applebaum, who's a big name in the industry. I think he does all of Megadeth's mastering and stuff. So it's going in his hands. So we're looking hopefully by the end of this month or the very beginning of May. So it'll be a spring release.
You guys don't have an official date yet, though.
No, nothing official just yet. I don't want to say it too early, and then we're caught up and trapped, and the song's not even out there yet because you got a waiting period. You know, I try to give like a 2-week buffer for it to arrive on all the distribution platforms, so it takes a little while. Sometimes it's as early as 3 days to a week, but I always give like a 2-week kind of window.
Yeah.
But yes,
what else you got?
Mike Hideous.
You got a show coming up?
Yeah. So Mike's actually coming out to Dark Force with us. So we'll be in New Jersey on April 20th. We're just going to hang out the first day, and then we play the 21st at around 4 p.m. So that's Dark Force Fest. It's at the Sheraton Hotel, which is a castle, I guess, has been converted. And yeah, so that's going to be a big one. And then we come back to Birmingham, Alabama that following weekend, April 26th. And then the 27th, we'll be back in Florida at Downtown Music Hall. But the Nick is in Birmingham, Alabama, Downtown Music Hall for Fort Walton Beach.
So now you guys have quite a few shows booked. We need you out here on the West Coast to play, man.
Tyler, take over on this one, man. We'll let you speak on this. He's been arranging it.
Yeah, help us fly out there. We'll do it. It's so crazy, man. Like people want us to come everywhere, but it's kind of tough, to get it, to kind of nail it down. I mean, we're just kind of hoping that our buddy Mike will help us do the Ages Live in Pennsylvania right now, or in New Jersey. So we're looking at it. We've got something lined up for Arizona, so that'll be towards the end of the year. So kind of waiting to see.
That's close enough. Even Vegas, Arizona is close enough. I would head out. I might even try to head out and see you guys if you play out there.
Oh yeah, we definitely have that lined up. October 25th, but we're supposed to be lining up maybe with another band called 616. I know they're headed out in July to play the Whiskey, so maybe it might route up to where we could get out there. We'll see.
Yeah, shout out to my boy 616. We've been on the phone all day.
It's a pipe dream at this point, but we've talked about eventually doing like a Brutal Planet show, like trying to promote something, since we have a channel and stuff.
Yeah, you could do it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a pipe dream. I think it'd be a lot easier than expected. It's just you get with the right people to get with the other people to secure the venue.
I think Raquel could probably help with something like that.
She absolutely could, yeah.
Oh man, you've got everything to make it happen.
Yeah,
Tom, remember our Memphis show that we were set to do with Morgrot, and then
canceled. Canceled the whole thing.
That was cancel culture issues that shot that.
Yeah. But it was one band. There was one band that had issues, so they canceled the whole fucking event. I was like, dude. They were like, we're not pandering to cancel culture. I get it.
I think I think that people are moving past a lot of that. Do you know who Shane Gillis is?
Shane Gillis?
Do you know Shane Gillis, the comedian?
Oh, Shane Gillis. Yes.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
I was just watching. I literally, before I came on, I was watching one of their podcasts, and they have this black guy, Lemaire, and he's talking about burning crosses. He's like, I think I want to start burning crosses. And he's like, black dude, and Shane's like,
they get even further and dress up as the KKK while he does it. And then we get on the level of Dave Chappelle.
It's so funny. Like, but I think he's a good example of why cancel culture is over, because his whole story, right? Like he got on the Saturday Night Live, and they fired him because a bunch of people complained about things he had said. And then he just hosted.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has slowed down. I know that because it was rampant. It was bad, but I don't know, man. Like a lot of people don't understand the shock value of things. So you have these bands that are trying to make a name for themselves. They're going to say things that it's not going to be politically correct. But
they're like doing it on purpose.
They're doing it on purpose, right? So I'll tell you a funny story. We know a guy in a band, Sister Kill Cycle, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Who,
I've heard of him, yeah.
He likes the top hats or whatever, but it's like Nazis. There's not a stitch of insignia on the fucking hat, but he ended up like dealing with some cancel shit. But I was like, I understand if it's for the big people, the big bands, the big well-known whatever, because they are really. I mean, look at P. Diddy right now. We're seeing all the assholes he's plugging right now. But yeah, the smaller bands, man, fucking get a goddamn life.
I saw this thing the other day. It was a picture of Machine Gun Kelly and this other rapper, I think Trippie Redd, something, and they're all like in makeup and stuff. And these kids, it says like sad boy. And this one kid in the comments goes, he's probably sad because he got P Diddy'd. And I realized like P Diddy is now like slang for getting molested. Like I'm
telling you,
like
man, it's fucking wild. It's wild.
That's as bad as it gets.
There's gonna be more coming out about it because talk Will Smith, fucking goddamn.
Man, I saw this video on, I think it was TikTok or Instagram this morning, of 50 Cent, and it's like 50 new, and it's him talking about Puff Daddy, He's like, Puffy's
Yep.
like trying to get me to go shopping with him or something.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. Yeah,
You see
50 Cent's been egging him on the whole time, man.
Yeah, I love 50 Cent. Like he's such a troll. He bought Ja Rule, like when Ja Rule did a
he was
tour,
getting
50
ass
Cent,
blasted
like,
from P. Diddy too.
50 Cent bought the first like 3 rows of tickets to his show so they would be empty.
Yeah, him and Ja Rule had big beef. I remember that. I mean, you remember all that from back in the day, man, because it was right there in front of you all the time. That was pop
That's what we
culture.
grew up around. Yeah,
What, 20 years ago?
Well, at least he bought the
that's
tickets.
old school rap beefs.
I wish people would buy out all of our tickets and then not show up. That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
I played to an empty room. You pay for all those tickets.
Beef with 50 Cent, like, yeah, beef with 50 Cent, and then you get free show buyouts.
I don't want to beef with 50 Cent, to be honest.
No, I know.
I don't want him. I don't want to be on his radar.
Did you see that movie he did? Like when he was in his prime, Get Rich or Die Trying. It's like supposedly his like life story.
I don't think it did.
I happen to catch it on cable, but it's like they did the same.
I don't
shit
have BET, so
it was on like HBO or something, and it was like one of those things that happened to start, and I was like, and then I started, and I like couldn't stop watching it. But it was like one of those things they did like with Eminem. You know how they did 8 Mile with Eminem?
Yeah.
It was like
I watched that one. That was actually a great movie.
Yeah. They did the same shit with 50 Cent.
Okay.
About your life and stuff.
I'll have to watch it.
But it was fucking good.
Yeah.
He was a legit like coke dealer in New York who got shot multiple times and stuff. And
yeah, I think it was 9 times. What they said or something like that. But yeah, he's lucky to be alive, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why his jaw's all messed up. Anyway, back to cancel culture.
Thank you, 50 Cent for vitamin water.
Yeah. I drink that.
A lot of those guys. That's one thing I'll give rappers, and they're smart with their like side investments and shit. Like a lot of guys that they take their money from music and like reinvest it into businesses like that.
Yeah, you this day and age you have to. You can't just do music. You got to have other investments.
I mean, I was talking to the bass player from that band, Opera Cowboy, Nick. He was in a band called Cephalic Carnage, which I didn't realize that it was also pretty big. But he said himself, he's like, if you want to be a musician in this day and age, like you almost have to have multiple bands. Like, you want to completely subsist on music
or a day job.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone I talk to has a day job, man.
Raquel's told me like big names where the guys there have day jobs.
Dude, like,
music's not the same anymore.
Even the biggest of big names.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even sound right. We won't dox, but it just doesn't sound right to you, you know?
Yeah.
Homie from Drowning Pool, CJ from Drowning Pool, the guitar player, he was saying during the pandemic, he was like roofing or something, or like doing drywall or like, I was like, or he's an electrician. That's right. He's doing construction.
Dude, it's let me ask you something, Dustin. Is there a Drowning Pool without Ryan McCombs at this point?
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
He keeps switching. He keeps going.
I love that song.
Going soil, he keeps going from soil. Then he goes to Drowning Pool. Then he goes to soil. And goes back and forth. But I can't imagine Drowning Pool without Ryan McCombs.
It's that song, Get Mind Right with him. Like he's killer, man. It's funny because until I talked to CJ, I didn't realize him. I probably said this before, but I knew Drowning Pool for Bodies, and I didn't ever listen to any of their catalog post that until recently.
Dude, their catalog after the first one was where it hit on me. I love Drowning Pool. I was talking to Tom today. I was in a record store and I found a bunch of Soil albums. I was like, holy shit, I gotta buy these, man. Like I found Redefine. It was in perfect condition. I was like, I gotta buy the CD. For no reason. I have to have it.
Another band that like it's crazy, that era of like rock, especially the early 2000s, is kind of a weird era because it's like post grunge, like new metal, kind of like. So a band like Soil was like just a standard rock band that kind of broke out of that.
Yeah.
But like I think back to that time, and like the biggest band at that time was probably like Limp Bizkit or something, or like Puddle of Mud, or like
Yeah, I've got tickets to see Limp Bizkit
like,
this year. I don't know,
dude. I loved
Say
that
that?
fucking Puddle
I've
of
got
Mud.
tickets to see Limp Bizkit this year.
Oh God.
Limp Bizkit.
I hope you got them for free.
I mean,
Dude, their Loserville tour. Man, Corey Feldman's on opening.
Oh God. Here we go.
Corey Feldman. Dude, I've kind of grown to like respect Fred Durst over the years. Like I don't those bands did because like Korn made him famous because they like broed with him, and then Fred Durst made Puddle of Mud. Like he signed Puddle of Mud. Same with Stained.
Dude,
Yeah.
Fred Durst made Stained. He made Cold. Yeah, he made the biggest bands. Like, and he shouts them out in his albums. Like it's so funny, dude. If there was not Fred Durst, we wouldn't have a lot of bands that we love right now.
I'd be okay with that.
Nah, dude, no. Because I talked with Scooter Ward at a bar.
Hit or miss.
We sat at the bar and I was like, "Oh man, whatever." Fred Durst.
Fun story. I played in a band like in that era, and like we were in LA, and he like scouted us a little bit, and it was interesting because he like called my guitar player and left a message, and we went to his showcase for Flawless Records, and Puddle of Mud played it, and that was his sign. And I could tell when I saw Puddle of Mud, I was like, he likes this guy because he looks like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, he doesn't sound too much like him these days, though. Did you see that fucking train wreck of a goddamn live set?
Oh my God. You didn't see it?
Pig. You didn't see it, Dustin?
That's like you need to be in a grindcore band. No, I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me. I fell asleep during their set at the Troubadour.
Go watch it. Yeah, go watch it. They did a Nirvana cover, and he fucking ruined it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
see, that's why Fred, I'm sure, signed him at that time, because he's like, oh, this guy's the next Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, I think he did have that on his mind. And I mean, with what they were doing, I mean, they got really big in the songs from that time. I can see why they caught on to the masses. So
yeah,
I mean,
nowadays it's
I bought Puddle of Mud's first album. I mean, I was a kid, but
gross.
Yeah. In that era, I was listening to like the Black Dahlia Murder and like Lamb of God, early Lamb of God. That was like it was a good era too for metal, because like a bunch of stuff started bubbling up from the underground. Slipknot's first record came out too.
Mm-hmm. See, I didn't get into Slipknot when they came out. I'd already been through like
their first couple records are so good, man. If you're into like that kind of heavy shit, like this, the second Slipknot is basically a death metal record.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard out of them. But then I would, but I'd heard all these other death metal bands that I was coming with, Cannibal Corpse and Deicide and those guys. So I'd heard it all, and then when I heard Slipknot, I was like, I've been listening to this shit for fucking years, and you guys all called me the devil worshiper, but now here you are listening to Slipknot, and I don't like it.
They're like the most mainstream band. I saw them at in Vegas a couple years ago with Cypress Hill, fucking killer show, but the place was packed.
Yeah, no, they're huge, man. I mean, hey, they made their way. More power to them, Because, but I'll tell you this, I like what's his other one? Stone Sour. I was a big fan of the Stone
his
Sour
side
music.
project. I mean, I think that was his. He said, I saw an interview with him where he said he was in Stone Sour before Slipknot. Like they kind of poached him from Stone Sour.
I didn't even know that. So, but I do like Stone Sour. It was more of my speed, I guess, with music. Yeah. So yeah, they had some good songs.
You guys come from like the hotbed for like Death. Death was from Florida, right?
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Schuldiner.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's basically the guy. Like he in Wikipedia is the first like guy to do like growl vocals like entirely. Florida is like in Cannibal Corpse, of course. Like
yeah, but hold on, what year was that?
Chuck Schuldiner or Cannibal Corpse?
No, I'm talking about Chuck.
I mean, I'm just saying on Wikipedia, like one of the first metal vocalists to do the growl thing, like full time through the whole album without any breaks for singing.
Yeah, but I'd like to know what year that all started, because there was those black metal bands since late 70s, early 80s when they were starting out. Before that became a big thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Mayhem and those bands. Yeah, they were around since I think the early 80s. I know Mayhem was.
And they were
they started, I guess,
like
getting more popular towards the late 80s, and then by the 90s, it was pure underground. Then of course he killed himself and all that stuff. That was a crazy story, man, with everything that was happening.
It says Death was formed in 1983 when Chuck was 16 years old as Mantis.
There you go. So 1983, yes. So you're probably looking at the black metal era being earlier than that. But Death may have put it on the map as far as what they were doing vocally.
It doesn't say that he's the first person to do it here. Death Growl. Wow, Death Growl has its own Wikipedia. That's great.
So it doesn't say he's the first?
It doesn't. I think I maybe I misread that, or it's been changed since, but it just says in early days of Death, Shoulder.
Well, we just wasted 5 minutes of everybody's time.
Yeah, we don't know.
You got to trace it somewhere. Dino from First Band to do Scream and Sing. And he's like, point to someone who did it before us. And I'm like, Faith No More, Angel Dust.
Yeah, that I can't even comment on.
Yeah, that's a tough one. He might be right. He's like, he loves feeding the trolls.
Yeah. But, as far as I know, yeah, I'd have to say Fear Factory was probably the first I heard that did things in that manner. But I love that. Obsolete from Fear Factory was fucking still an amazing album, man. I love that album.
That was like their breakout. Didn't really kind of like get noticed until they released that cover they did of the song Cars, which was originally a B-side.
Which is weird, man. Yeah, because I didn't care much for the cover. I just don't like direct replicated cover songs. That's my thing. I like having its own touch in a way. And so I didn't care for the Fear Factory version, but it's kind of hard to believe because I think Fear Factory was on the first Mortal Kombat movie. That soundtrack was at 92, probably 94. I don't know, whatever date that was. They
were definitely ahead of the curve, bringing like electronic stuff into metal. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
When we talked to Dino the first time, it was so cool because he was saying the one riff from what's their record before Demanufacture, Soul of a New Machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this riff I came up with because he was like, Fear Factory started out playing these backyard parties in LA, and they do these parties in the fucking burbs, but they'll have these parties where it's like they'll have a bunch of bands play, and then after the bands are done, they bring a DJ in, and it turns into like a dance thing. And so Dino was like, I was playing fucking like to the DJ, like I was playing this lick to the DJ in like fucking 89 or some shit like that.
Yeah. And which is awesome. That's how they came about then, I guess, the big influence.
Yeah.
I'll just say one thing, man. When you're doing a metal show or you're doing like a hard rock show and then the show's over and all of a sudden it slaps to like booty shaking hip hop.
Dude, that happened to us last year at the
Dude, not like that.
Fucking kill me right on the spot. Why?
It's more like dance music, like techno, like EDM. Like
no, man, no. We've played some shows. I've been to shows, and as soon as you get done watching All That Remains, everything's done, and then all of a sudden, bam, dance floor booty music. Dude, kill me.
That's pretty common.
Nobody.
That's what happened to us at the Vampire Ball last year.
Oh. I know.
Remember?
That's why I love.
No, you probably don't remember because you didn't stick around.
No, that's one of the biggest reasons I'm like, I can't. Terrible, man. It grinds on me.
It was funny. It was funny.
And not in the good way.
okay, the bands are done. We still got a couple hours. How can we keep charging people to get in?
Yeah. Well,
Pretty much.
yeah. Well, so I think what happened with us was it was very last minute for them to pick us up for that show. So now this year this year we're in. I think October 5th we're doing their next annual event. So now we're actually set up as the primary kind of entertainment. So I think it'll be much different this year.
To Taylor Swift after you're done.
yeah. Hopefully not.
I would like it. Like, there's clubs here, like a place like Bar Sinister in Hollywood. Like, they're the type of place that like they'll have live bands, but the music that they play is good. Like, they play like dark goth and like
it's Bar Sinister. Now I was going to say that might be a spot for you to try and wrangle up to do an event.
Yeah,
with.
totally. I actually know some of the people that run it. It's at a place called Borders, so we can check it out. Then they always have the other thing I love about that place is they always have Suicide Girls go dancers there.
Nice.
Suicide Girls, for obvious reasons, because they have tattoos and stuff. It's so cool.
Sounds like Lucky 13.
So you guys voting for Biden or what?
Hell yeah. Who's not is my question.
I already mailed my vote in for Biden. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I already mailed mine. Yeah, I already mailed my ballot.
Trying to get
that one won't get lost, I can promise you.
Look, man, to expand on cancel culture, man, I think one of the biggest reasons that cancel culture failed is because people are fucking going broke. They're starving. Like, even like say a family of 2, no kids, you're struggling so bad to a point that you've never struggled in your entire life, and it's not adding up, and you're not making crazy expenses. People like that, they're not worried about what a fucking band is saying online. They're worried about trying to feed themselves.
Yeah, but
that's why cancel culture has failed.
But here's the even bigger problem.
1000%.
So you have cancel culture. They're biting on whatever the fuck they're biting on. But it doesn't stop there because somebody else finds the next thing to be offended by, or the next thing and the next thing. And it's a domino effect. And what happens is you paint yourself into a corner, and eventually you have no fucking rights. You have nothing to talk about, say, believe, whatever. So all these people, these, fucking morons that are screaming because they don't agree with something or it hurts their feelings, eventually their time's coming too. And then they're going to be on that side of the fence going, well, what did I do wrong? And it's just never ending. It just keeps going.
Do you know who Candace Owens is?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's interesting for me to watch because Ben Shapiro, I'm sure you know who he is. Mm-hmm. He was always that guy that's like, facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right.
And like, cancel culture is the end. And she said something critical of Israel, and he canceled her. And then people are like, whoa, dude, I thought facts didn't care about your feelings. Like, what?
Ben Shapiro canceled Candace Owens?
Yeah. He fired her off. They fired her. Yeah. So
just recently
I didn't know that. Yeah, but I just said he's one of the main proprietors.
Because of what you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Your time's coming too.
Like, that's
until you have nothing.
Stop listening to Ben Shapiro altogether and listen to Brendan Dilley of the Dilley main team, the Dilley Show. That's the only thing you need.
Usually,
Do you know who Tim Pool is?
Yeah.
He has a pretty good show too. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like that he has like a lot of different like viewpoints on, and he'll like argue with everybody. And I think that's like more than what we need, because it's like too many people are walled into your point. I'm like in their own little world, cares about this one thing, and then outside of that little world, no one gives a shit. You know what I mean? It's like we've all curated these little echo chambers. And I like Tim Pool for that because he has like a bunch of different people kind of like from different viewpoints.
Yeah.
What's the guy?
I haven't heard of him.
Who were you? What was the guy we were talking about, Tyler?
So my guy that I go to my news for, his name is Brendan Dilly. His show is called The Dilly Show. It's on Rumble, X, and now YouTube. He's been canceled so many times, but I mean, he just says the truth. He has his own opinions. He has a meme team. So most really good memes that you see out there, like the political memes, those are from his people, and they're not paid. And he's met Donald Trump a whole lot. I mean, they've gotten together many times, but he's not paid. He's not a staffer. Just a normal guy that has a Rumble channel or a show. He just goes through the facts of the day and gives his opinions, and I mean, he just tells it like it is, and he says a lot of fucking crazy, fucked up shit. But it's not untrue. It's just his opinions. So that's kind of where I was telling Tom about that the other day. I'm like, you gotta watch this guy, man.
Think about like Alex Jones. Like a couple years ago, everyone's like, Alex Jones is a conspiracy theorist. He's crazy. Now, like all the stuff that's going, like, whoa, Alex Jones was actually like right on a lot of this.
Yeah, but they've bankrupted Alex Jones. I mean, he's having hard times.
I know.
And I don't agree with a lot of his stuff. I mean, I think he's comical. I enjoy his hot takes on shit, but he has been right a whole lot. But
like he was one of those guys who like 10 years ago was screaming about like a secret pedophile thing, and then like a couple years
and it's true.
The Epstein stuff started coming out, and I was like, holy shit, Alex Jones was fucking.
Yeah, but he'll never get the credit for it.
Well, I think under the First Amendment, he shouldn't have been persecuted so harsh. I mean, right? Like we still have a Constitution of the United States, right? So in this conversation we're having right now, we can say whatever without fear of persecution. That's not really the case anymore in America. He made a bunch of claims.
You should probably shut
they
up.
weren't right, but
we might have to we might have to shut Facebook and YouTube on Rumble so we can really go into the weeds on this kind of stuff. Because honestly, the way that the world has gone the last like 5 to 10 years, like most people don't even live in reality. Like a good example, like the whole pandemic thing and all that kind of stuff. Like there are
like elements, the politicians.
There are elements to even that people don't know about. Like, do you know what the Trusted News Initiative is? Have you heard about all this?
Is that the one where everybody's like regurgitating the same fucking thing?
Kind of, but basically when COVID hit, like the mainstream media, kind of like BBC and Time Magazine and like MSNBC, they all got together. And basically what it does is it makes them the arbiters of what is real news. And if you violate that, they can debank you and deplatform you and like completely remove your channel for spreading misinformation and all that kind of stuff. So it's like this shit has gotten so crazy over the last like 5 to 6 years, and it's so partisanized to what you were saying earlier, Tom. It's like eventually it's going to come to you. It's like if you look at like the Russia hysteria, they did the same shit that they did to Trump to Bernie Sanders. Like they could, as soon as Bernie Sanders started winning, they're like, oh, Russia, it's like,
yep. Yeah, eventually you got to stop it. There has to be some, the problem is that nobody's held accountable for shit. And anybody that holds these people accountable are at the top doing it. So when do we have the people to hold them accountable? That's what our jobs were supposed to be.
I thought they worked for us, right? But it's not the case.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to shut off YouTube and Facebook so we can like actually talk freely, so we don't like lose our channel or something. So do you guys have a few more minutes? Do you want to stick around and keep chatting?
Yeah. Go right ahead, man.
Okay, cool, man. Let me take a quick break. I'm just gonna throw up like a little timer thing and shut off YouTube, and then let's go like into the weeds a little bit more on this stuff, because I think this is the kind of stuff I like to talk about, and you guys are like,
this will be a first for us
obviously
too. So
Getting canceled
Yeah.
in 5, 4.
if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, go to rumble.com/Brutal Planet Media and rejoin the conversation in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
And we'll
thumbs
be right
up
back.
and follow the Rumble channel.
Yeah, all that good stuff. But really, I mean, Rumble, I just want to bolster Rumble because it's like I support a platform like that gives people free reign to do what they want. And the thing that's crazy about all this before we go too, I was thinking about this the other day. Violent threats are illegal no matter where you make them. Like if I make a violent threat to someone on social media, not only is it illegal, but it's documented for court. So like you don't need new protections against that. Like anything else is just hurting your feelings. Unless someone's like making a direct violent threat against you, just block them. To initiate this like hate shutting your and I'll shut up and let's go over to Rumble and really talk.
Oh, you good, man.
All right. We'll be right back. Join us at Rumble.